Yo, what up guys, your boy Williams Fitness back again with another video, and let's look at the Boston Pro, let's look at the lineup, let's see who's going to be there. First off, let's kick off with Fabio. Fabio recently competed at the Arnold Classic Ohio and placed 9th. That's not a bad placing considering he's not a long-turned pro. He's got a brilliant physique, he's a young guy, he's got a lot of potential. Okay, let's look at the next guy. Next up, we've got Justin Mackey. He turned pro in 2017, so it's going to be quite interesting to see what his conditioning looks like. I haven't seen him on stage in quite some time, so it'd be interesting to see what Justin can bring to the Boston Pro to compete with the big dogs. Next up, we have Douglas Frucky. He last competed at 2021 NPC Worldwide Mexico Super Show and won the overall, which is absolutely fantastic. Next up, we had Nathan Spear. Nathan Spear last competed in 2020 North American Super Heavyweight, where he placed 3rd. It's a really good placing for Nathan. Let's see what he can bring to the Boston Pro. Next up, we have Steve Kuclow. Steve Kuclow actually competed last weekend. He placed 3rd at the Arnold Classic. He beat a lot of people that some people couldn't thought he could beat, and he actually came in a fantastic condition, one of the best conditions of his career, in my personal opinion. Can't wait to see him. Next up, we have Phil Clayheart. He actually came 2nd in the 2021 Tampa Pro, so that's probably where you can recognize him from. It's going to be really interesting to see him up again against some of the big dogs in this competition. Next up, we have Justin Rodriguez. He actually placed 5th at the Arnold Classic just gone this past weekend, and his best placing so far in this elite level is 2nd place at the New York Pro. He is definitely one to watch. Next up, we have Islam Mohammed. He is the world champion in Brazil. He got 1st place. He's got quite a nice aesthetic physique, so it'd be interesting to see if he's put any more size on this frame since winning the Brazil Championships. Next up, we have Sarikai Plaingame. I apologise if I brutalised that name. He last competed in 2020 at the Muscle Contest in Japan, got overall champion. This picture doesn't actually quite do him justice. He does look a lot better now. Next up, we have Regan Grimes. Regan Grimes, to me, actually looked really good at the Arnold Classic Ohio. He got 7th place, but he's only recently been coached by Milos Sarcev, who's one of the best coaches out there. He does some sketchy things allegedly with it when it comes to drug protocols and insulin. Maybe that's a past thing, who knows. But for me, Regan is definitely one to watch this show and to see if he's dialed it in that tiny bit more. Next, we've got Samson Dude, who looked insane at the Arnold Classic. He actually beat Regan. He got 4th place at the Arnold Classic. He looked absolutely incredible. He is definitely in my top 5 for this show. He's definitely one to watch, guys. And finally, the legend, the conqueror, the man himself, William Bonac. I can't wait to see him. He is going to absolutely annihilate. If he can keep that condition he brought at the Arnold Classic, he's won there. He could Zoom call this posing in and still win. Now, obviously, he's going up against Samson Dude, Regan Grimes, Stephen Kuclow, Justin Mackey. There's a few people in this lineup that are going to put on a really good show. So I think this lineup is really stacked. I think it's going to be a really good open category, and it's going to be a good sort of eyeball to see who's going to be really bringing it to the Mr. Olympia this December. Because obviously there's a few months coming before that happens. But for me, it's people like Steve Kuclow, who's old school in this game, who's actually come on such a long way in the last sort of 12 months. I thought he looked insane at the Arnold Classic. Then there's Regan Grimes. What can Regan do in the next sort of 6 months? Can he bring something a little bit different? And against Samson Dude, these are all guys that I'm keeping my eye on the side, thinking, I can't wait for the Mr. Olympia. But for now, it's the Boston Pro. This is your open lineup. On that note, guys, I've been me. You've been you. Peace.